Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, YouTube. I was watching The Weekend this morning, and they were talking about Donald Trump sending more and more armed United States military troops to blue cities under our tax dollars. This guy. So when the next president gets in there, we've got to take some of those powers away from the president. The president should never have this much power, especially if you got a weak Congress. And I knew that it was possible for it to happen. And sure enough, that's what happened. But y'all, I'm going to tell you what. They said MAGA's all excited about what he's doing. And perhaps they are. I'm sure they are. MAGA is. But the Republicans, like up in Appalachia, up in the hills of Tennessee, when those kids start going hungry, because see, it hit the hills of Tennessee at the same time it hits the urban areas. When the kids start going hungry, when the parents start losing jobs, it hits at the same time, y'all, and it hits hard. And if you go back and look, I did a video about true hillbillies, not this JD Vance and all that fake crap. I'm talking about the real ones. They don't bother nobody. They always vote Republican. They don't look at this MAGA, that. They might have a little bit of racism about them, but they don't want black people to not eat and not be able to feed their families. You see what I'm saying? A lot of them, my age, Gen X, have never gone through their kids being hungry. Their parents did. Their parents before them did. But they never did. Under Joe Biden, their kids ate. Under Donald Trump, their kids not going to be able to eat. They're still working those coal mines, still dying by the age of 50, 52. They're old men by the age of 50, 52. And what's going to happen is when it starts getting colder and colder and their kids can't eat, they're going to come down out of those mountains. Donald Trump thinks because he's got the armed military in the blue states that there's going to be enough to stop the uprising. It's not. Wait until those hillbillies families start going hungry. What they say, I'm going to take care of mine. I'm going to take care of mine. My husband can do their accent real good. Sound just like them right out there. Like he's right out the hills. I'm going to tell you what. It's going to be hell to pay the beef wagon. Because y'all think that he's just doing this to flex with the blue states. He's doing this to see. This is an intimidation tactic that they did in the 60s and before to keep black people from wanting to be able to vote because we couldn't vote to the 60s. So this is an intimidation tactic. You see the military, you won't want to go to the voting poll. We'll go through them to go to the voting poll because our ancestors sacrificed too much. We'll go through them, you know. And we love our military. But what you ain't going to do is ever stop us from voting again. Because that's not a privilege. That's our right. But you got bigger things to worry about, Trump. Wait till these hillbilly kids start doing that. You're going to see some things. And I got my popcorn ready. And y'all, did you see him? Midas Touch did a side-by-side with Donald Trump and Putin. Putin come down his steps. He old too. But he came down his steps like a young man. Donald Trump could barely make it down the steps. He Donald Trump is taller than Putin, but standing next to Putin, he looks smaller than Putin. His shoulders are all sunk in. He looks like the old, sickly man that he is, that mainstream media covered up. Then he's riding in the beast with Putin with nobody else there. He's in meetings with Putin with nobody else there. So we don't know what they talked about. But what we do know is he had our servicemen men on their knees rolling out the red carpet for Putin. You can't get no weaker than that. Russia is the size of, if Tennessee was placed inside of California, Russia is if it was placed in the United States. And our president rolled out the red carpet for this tyrant. How weak can you get? You can't get no weaker than that. He didn't try to pull Putin in either. You know how he used to shake hands to try to pull Putin in to see what he do for Zelensky on Monday. Trump couldn't stop a war. Putin told him, if you would have been in office, I wouldn't have started the war. Okay, he in office now, why don't you stop? Why don't you stop it? If you really his BFL, stop the war. Trump is so dumb, and mainstream media was playing that nonsense, that's what Putin said. Like we could believe somebody that has poisoned his own people. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up if you wanted to. And let me tell you why the United States looks weak. Putin came over here. This is what, about the third time Trump has met with Putin and hadn't got a thing from it. He gets more and more talking points from Putin for Zelensky to give up. But Trump Trump gets nothing from Putin. It's nothing that the United States needs from Putin. Russia's that big. The United States is here. There's nothing we need from them. But yet, Donald Trump got Putin elevated on the stage like he's a top contender. That's why Putin was grinning from ear to ear. And Donald Trump was too dumb to even know it, and the people around him are too dumb to even know it. So if you look at anything outside of American news, we look weak. We look fickle. We've lost our allies. We down bad, as they would say in the hood, y'all. We down bad. We down real bad. But that's what happens when you want to turn your country that's diverse, all whites, all rich, old white people. It's the legacy DEI hires. You feel so entitled because you were born with a platinum spoon in your mouth. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. But let's see where it goes, honey. Let's see where it goes. Happy Sunday from an angry black woman out of Tennessee. Y'all, let's get out the mud. Don't worry about cancel culture. The have-nots will defeat the haves. And stay woke. Because if you would have been woke and not fallen into them culture wars of mainstream media, if you would have been woke, you wouldn't have to get woke. Welcome to the Poor People's Revolution.